Okay, this is my audio commentary for Patreon only of the original Jurassic Park. UNIVERS, there's the A, there's the L, Universal. All right, this is the very beginning of the movie. The globe is about to disappear. Right, now it's gone. Okay, now this is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. YouTube will probably get another Jurassic Park audio commentary, but they will not get this one. This is going to be a special one just for you, and all of the other Jurassic Park movies are going to get the same thing. There's that awesome title, awesome sounding primal music. Something's rustling in the trees. I'm assuming that all of you have seen Jurassic Park by now. If you haven't, I don't know why how did you even get here? But I figure this will probably be one of my favorite audio commentaries to tackle. Let's observe this guy, Robert Muldoon. Now, check out how he handles Jurassic Park's velociraptors when compared with other people. So here we go. We've got the velociraptor inside of a crate, on a forklift, no less. They're pushing this bad boy over to a point that we will be exposed to in 3, 2, 1. There it is. This is the makeshift velociraptor holding pen. At this point in the story, we don't know why they're being put in there, but we learn later on. Now, time to slam this guy in here. Oh God, I can remember being a kid and like just hearing that, and it's scaring the hell out of me. Now, mind you, branches have been slapping this guy in the face. He's being hauled off to, or she rather, is being thrown in here. What a lot of people suggest is the big one. My point being, this is one of the most ridiculous ways to handle this specific kind of animal. Don't get me wrong, Jurassic Park is an amazing movie. It's just that Muldoon's understanding of the animals is so terrible when compared to Owen Grady. And we're about to learn, you know, in this scene right here, why. The rain is pouring down. Joffrey's just like, ah! Getting dragged in. All right, pay attention to Muldoon right now. There's some continuity errors in this film. All right, body goes dragged to the top, where I'm going to assume the velociraptors jumped to the side of the cage. You just missed one continuity error where Muldoon was not holding on to Joffrey while he's being pushed in. They lock eyes. Look at Muldoon. He's not wearing a hat. He is wearing a hat. And obviously they shoot the velociraptor with whatever, you know, ammunition they saw fit. Now, those two continuity errors are not the only ones you'll find in this entire movie. This movie has quite a lot of bloopers all over the place that nobody wants to talk about. Particularly any Screen Junkie specific guy doesn't want to talk about. Jurassic Park's an amazing film. It's 5 out of 5 stars. Love this little joke. But don't lie. Don't say that it doesn't have these small issues. It's a movie. It's a giant production with a ton of people working, doing all kinds of things at any one moment in time. You're bound to have little slip-ups. Slip. Ha. Oh, God. Now, you'll notice that this has all been one continuous shot, moving from Gennaro stepping off with our buddy right here. Oh, we just cut. Spielberg does that a lot in these movies. He will linger on character bits for quite a while to make sure that you really feel like you're actually there and in the moment. This is some great lighting, by the way. A lot of people, older people, will recognize that the amber mine itself was kind of used as a great teaser for Jurassic Park. It was a very mysterious idea of bringing dinosaurs back from the fossilized state like this, where their blood is trapped in the amber. It was very smart. It was very interesting to think about, and it opened a big Pandora's box of mystery. Like, could we do it? And if we could, more importantly, should we do it? Here we switch over to Montana with Grant and Ellie. Again, this is one of the scenes that was iconic to me as a kid. I'm sure I speak for everyone out there that was a kid during this time. We all wanted to grow up and be paleontologists. We just did. This was the coolest thing that you could possibly want to grow up to be. There's a little image of Grant with his raptor claw in his hand. See it right there? There's the raptor claw. And he hates computers, don't you? Ha ha. Shotgun shell in this little machine. I love this thing too. They just blow a hole through the ground and it sends seismic waves. Oh my God, I love this movie. Dude sporting his mullet and flannel shirt right there next to Grant. Oh, so many memories. We get our first look at Velociraptor Anteropus. As a kid, it was quite interesting being taught early on. I was very young when Jurassic Park was still a giant mega thing. And it was the movie that was really pushing for this scientific integrity of dinosaurs actually being birds. And it was even at a young age where I saw this. It was really fascinating because they do look like reptiles. Even feathered dinosaurs bear a striking resemblance to reptiles. So it's quite interesting. Bird of prey. Uh-oh. Who said that? God, look, Grant. Grant's like, I'm about to punch this little God, what a little brat. I feel bad for him, though. Grant is such an ass right here. He's so mean. Not Velociraptor. You stare at him, and he just stares right back. And that's where the attack comes. Not from the front, but from the side. The other two raptors, you didn't even know were there. Could you imagine being a kid back then? And this guy's not talking to you like a child. He's talking to you like a grown adult. He's like, check this shit out, kid. You see this thing right in my hand? You see how long and sharp this thing is? Check this out. He's going to come right up to you after he hears you calling him a turkey. He's going to cut you right. He's going to cut you up right there. And then he's going to cut you across your fat little tummy and spill your guts out all over the ground. And you're going to be alive. God, could you imagine someone coming up to you and doing that, especially on whatever, this kid's probably on like a field trip or something. It's crazy. There's a lot of fan theories out there that say that he might be Owen Grady. I don't believe that. It's fun to, talk about, but I just don't see it happening. And this right here, this interaction between Ellie and Grant, this is what Jurassic Park is actually about. It's not actually about the dinosaurs. She wants kids. He doesn't. It's so simple. There's not anything else to it. There's moral dilemmas and there's special effects galore, an incredible amount of scientific theses and paleontology. But Jurassic Park at its core is just a family story. It's just a story about a guy that hates kids and has to learn to love them. That's all this is about. And that's, in effect, that's kind of what all of the movies were basically about, is family being closer together. It's just we all, what got people's butts in the seats was dinosaurs. And that's what, they had to do. That's what it is. Even in Jurassic Park itself, in the novel and everything, it's just about the dinosaurs that get people's butts in the seats. It's still just a family story. I'm John Hammond, and I'm delighted to meet you finally in person, Dr. Grant. Oh, I love his character. Look, this guy's like, oh, God. Ellie, this is the guy that's paying us 50 grand to dig up bones a year. He's funding all this stuff. I love the little limp that Richard Attenborough does to really, really get into character, that he needs that cane that he actually uses. Very good. Ellie's trying to help him. She's like, oh, okay. No, I got it, man. Let this rich old son of a bitch get his own wine. Champagne, whatever the fuck it is. He's such a good character. And in my opinion, he's an improvement on the John Hammond from the novels. They're essentially the same person, but John Hammond from the novels is way darker. He's way meaner. And his performance is incredible in this movie. Now, if you'll notice, we've been lingering on a shot for quite a while. We're just now about to cut away. There we go. See, Spielberg does that to try and really immerse you in the scene. When we first entered, we got to stay the shot. We have to stay on the interaction between John Hammond talking to Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler. We have to sell the idea that they're actually there. And it is demanding of your actors because they have to remember quite a lot of lines, placement and directing of the actual scene going out. Placement of your cameras, of your equipment, people has to be, on point. It's way more complicated than The Lost World. But in Jurassic Park, it was minimalistic, but it was effective. When he's trying to get these people to come on down, look at John Hammond's body language while he's pouring the champagne. He's like, hey, I've got something great I think you guys are going to love. Hang out with me for the weekend. It's right up your alley. Here you go. You take that. I'm paying you all this money. Hang out with me for a little while. I just want your endorsement, your opinion on what I'm doing out here. Comes off very, very wholesome, very nice. He's already responsible for them digging. They're like, he's like, I am paying for your shit now, guys. I sealed the deal right there. They're like, well, we're going. We're going to be doing this for 3 more years. What a salesman. And look how happy they are. I love Jurassic Park. Look at him. Yes. Look at him right there. You see that guy holding the dog? That is Michael Crichton. And watch Dodson right here. Walk away. Driver gets out of the car. Shuts it. Asshole. Now again, one continuous shot. We're on the bag. What's in this bag? Who is this guy? He's carrying the bag over here through this weird locale, some sort of place, and here we go. Here's a big old fat slob. He's eating a bunch of food. And we're going to cut right now. Okay, and there he is. They meet each other. Oh, see, this bag is for this fat guy. So we're going to go head over to him. And of course, Dodson, we've got Dodson here. Nobody cares. Oh, God. The costume department for these movies is great, too. $750,000, Nedry. Yeah, fat son of a bitch. That's a lot of food you could buy. All right, here's our little James Bond thing. We've got the Barbasol can that will house your stolen embryos, Nedry. Do your little squeak. God. And then what? I mean, look at this. Here's some whipped cream for your pie. Oh, he's got an 18-minute window. 18 minutes, 10 years of research. What? Hey, Dotson, you paying for that or what, man? God, what a slob. My God. We've been introduced to everyone so far, except for one particular character. There's Grant's raptor claw I just dug up. This guy. They're like, what the fuck is this guy? He suffers from a deplorable Lexus personality. Chaotician. John doesn't subscribe to chaos. So obviously Ian knows what John's been attempting here. He doesn't like it. He's showing up. He's like, look, I'm going to tell you what's going on. Straight up. And grabs his leg. And of course, he initiates a little... I love this line, by the way. It's great. Pan over to Sattler. God, the writing in this is incredible. David Koepp really made... Every line of dialogue in Jurassic Park is super iconic. This shot's incredible. I don't even need to tell you guys that. John Williams' music. Quite early on, we're already getting to the island to see all this stuff. And again, this is the original movie. Now, it takes some time to go back in Jurassic Park, or really The Lost World. Jurassic Park 3, they kind of just did whatever. Ooh. Yahoo. I'd love to know how they filmed this. I don't think it was in an actual helicopter. If it was, that's very impressive. Well, Malcolm right there, buckling his seatbelt. And Grant has 2 female ends. Now, most of you probably know this, but if you don't, this little scene right here is actually foreshadowing for what happens later on in the film. Everyone's like, look, Grant, we can fix your seatbelt. We can do this. He's like, look, I'm going to take care of it. 2 female ends. I'm going to make it work. And there he goes. He clicks them together. And what gender are all the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park? Female. I'll let you put 2 and 2 together to figure that out. What that little scene meant. What an incredible location. This is truly, really, really good everything. Everything you could ask for. Cinematography, direction, just the location, the beautiful shot. Look at this water just actually pouring down. That's all real. How amazing is that? Every time I go back to Jurassic Park, I'm just like, this is actually a real movie that got made. Holy hell, this is incredible. That iconic logo, everything about it. They did this movie. They couldn't have done this movie any more perfect. Like, it really is. It deserves all the praise it gets. And now we're actually going into the park. All our pink shirts are like, hey guys, go this way. And I love this too. 10,000 volts. What in the heck are they trying to keep out? Of course, Gennaro's like, look, is this place safe? I'm going to screw you, Hammond, if you don't got everything in order. Now, obviously, everyone's being called here to check up on the park because of Joffrey's death. That velociraptor initiated a pretty serious concern for the investors going, look, is everything good down there, Hammond? And of course, he's all jovial, he's happy, he smiles. He's like, hey, man, you're good. We have made Jurassic Park. Everything's going well. And of course, it's not. God, look at how this shot is framed. Look at everything in this movie. This is really good. Of course, there was a deleted scene that didn't get shown where she grabbed that leaf. But hey, it's in the trailer. So if you want to look it up, see it on YouTube. This reaction is perfect. Sam Neill's just, and he's totally awestruck. He's like, what am I looking at? And of course, every little kid and every adult for that matter back then, when they saw what this movie like put out in this next shot, it was incredible. This is done with, I can't describe the way Spielberg directed this particular scene. It's done with such confidence and really perfect everything. Look, we're looking up from a downward angle at the size of this dinosaur. And he's coming up laughing like, gotcha. And he can't believe that Hammond actually did all this stuff. Just the way this is, everything about it. I can't bring it into words. You feel like you're actually there looking at this massive animal in this wide shot. This is perfect. 2 legs. Everyone get back. Oh my God. Top of the tree. The music swells. Boom. My God. And then, of course, Gennaro. He sees dollar signs. And all Malcolm can just laugh. It's just a crazy, dumb laughter. I can remember being a kid and going like, there's a T-Rex in this? Like, obviously there is, but it's like, this is what the Brachiosaurus looks like? We're going to get to see the T-Rex? Oh, shit. And it really is amazing. The reactions they give would be reactions that real people would give. What an incredible line. And everything, look, going in on Grant, looking at like, what is it, Grant? Let us see. Holy shit. And look at the composition of this shot. Look where they are. Look where the dinosaurs are, the river. Look at everything. It just looks perfect. The parasaurs, the green parasaurs, you'll only see them green in this movie. It's perfect. And here we go, the part of the movie we're like, okay, we just saw something serious. Now, what is going on here? What are we getting at? How did you do all this? Visitor Center still under construction. Pink Shirt's like, all right, guys, let's get out. You ready to take the tour? God, look at everything. Everything about this film, just the design is perfection. We're outside following our characters, camera guy, everyone's behind all these people. Spielberg's like, all right, we're walking inside now, guys. When dinosaurs ruled the earth. Cut away, here we go. We're walking up the staircase. It's just beautiful. I remember being a kid and going like, God, I want to go there. I want to go there so bad. Look at Malcolm hanging back, like watching everything. Don't you mean extinct? I love the pan up to the skeleton of the Tyrannosaur biting into the sauropod. Here we have the Jurassic Park exposition scene where we get to learn, why are we here? What's going on? Could you imagine like going to Jurassic Park and sitting in this little thing and there's John Hammond? Get your lines out, John. Jeez. And he's like talking to everyone like, hey, this is how we did it. Sean, that hat. Oh my God. I could imagine being a kid just like, what is this? It was very clever, though, to actually explain to the audience, hey, I've never noticed that before. The camera was lingering on the amber on the tip of his cane before going up at them. Wow. This movie's 25 years old, and there's still new stuff that I find about it every time I watch it. Just one drop of your blood means millions of strands of DNA, the building blocks of life. this was clever because even me as a kid, I could be like, okay, so they got the blood from the mosquito and then they made the dinosaur. I understood it back then. And it was pretty easy to understand for, I'm pretty sure, everyone. Like, you'd have to be pretty stupid to not get what's going on right here. I don't know why, but I've always liked this shot of this bug getting covered in amber. I don't know why. It just, some things I associate Jurassic Park with are like they have nothing to do with iconic imagery or scenes, like this right here. This zoom in of this cartoon hand holding that thing. They act like this is what they actually do. They just suck it out of the ass of this mosquito. I'm sure it's a little more complicated in the Jurassic Park labs, but this is what they're telling everyone in layman's terms. Of course, Malcolm's sitting up like, oh, that can work. Lift your bottom half of your body up, and then you're about to get attacked by the right. There you go. And he's telling us, look, the DNA is not precise. We can't get everything out of that dead blood. We've got to fill in the holes. Virtual reality. Look at that. That's what VR is, people. So we take frogs and we fill in the code with their stuff. And now we can make a baby dinosaur. I wonder what Hammond would have done to really finish this whole thing off. Like, what was the next part of the tour before these guys just decide to leave? I will admit that the laboratory process is incredible. Like, I do want to be a fly on the wall in there, just watching the Jurassic Park scientists, like, do everything. Oh, there's Henry Wu. Did you see him? These characters, autoerotica. I can't help but to think he's talking about automatic and erotica or something sexual at the same time. Mechanical. Fucking weirdo. Well, everyone has like a hat. Even Ellie had a hat at the dig site. Malcolm, where's your hat? Everyone has a hat in this movie. I'm sure Henry Wu has like a hat somewhere that says engine. There we go. There's Wu. You will become quite a pebble in the universe's shoe in the couple of movies, my friend. Love that shot, too. This is a long shot. We're backing up, looking at this. Now, we're about to see another continuity error that I hope you guys pay attention for. This really cool thing that's turning the eggs and holding the eggs disappears from frame. Check it out. There it is. It's holding the egg. See? It is currently holding this egg. There we go. It's putting it in place. Keep watching. Keep watching. And it's gone. And granted, this is nothing that you can really hold against the movie, but it's there. If you're going to complain about the fleshy hand on the steering wheel of the boat in the Lost World, why aren't you going to complain about this other stuff? Do you really think that there's like a never-ending thing of goats underneath the T-Rex's paddock? Which, by the way, where would they be? Would they be at the portion of the movie where it's actually flat, or would they be at the portion of the movie where it's a 40-foot drop? I've never understood some of the criticism that the other movies get. When there's things in this movie that if you truly want to stay objective and on a pedestal, put your money where your mouth is and actually talk about this stuff too. And this was an amazing scene as a kid, too. This little guy does look like a really real dinosaur. They've engineered them that way, Malcolm. What do you think about that? What do you think about all the dinosaurs being girls? What do you think about that level of control? He's like, I've got some problems with this place. Also, saying dinosaurs are warm-blooded, which was a thing from the 60s and 70s, but Jurassic Park's really the movie that sent it home to everyone. Same with the birds. And that doesn't sit right with Malcolm. Well, there it is. He's like, yeah, there it is. Well, whatever. Breed. And see, this is something pretty important that is within all Jurassic Park films except for possibly the third. We're going to rewatch the third very soon. Don't worry. You guys will be getting an audio commentary for that as well. But these movies are at the core, besides family stories, the dinosaur aspects. It is man's attempt to control nature, which is impossible to do. I love that transition to the adult raptor scream. Here's where we were at the beginning of the movie. We were slinging our big boys and big girls. Sorry, I call them boys a lot. We were slinging the girls in here because, well, something bad happened in the Velociraptor holding cage. And a certain game warden will explain to us what. Shall we? No, I want to see the raptors feed, says Grant. This used to really, it didn't scare me as a kid, but it was a realization of, look, you don't want to be in there. And here we go. I love how they don't actually show it. They just show what's going on around it and the reaction. Oh, that's like, it's like they're just ripping flesh automatically. As soon as it's dropped in there, it's dead. And Ellie's like, oh my God. Sean Hammond's eating it like, yeah, look at my little beasties. You like it, Grant? They should all be destroyed. And he really thinks that. He hates these raptors. He's a lot like Captain Quint from Jaws. And I do mean lethal. Look at his socks pulled all the way up to damn near his kneecaps. Grant's like, Ellie, listen to this shit. This is crazy. Malcolm's like, I am not impressed. This sounds quite dangerous. I'm still computing why this is happening. Ugh. Hammond's like, they're still killing that guy. So we've got a big one, the leader. Murdered everyone except for 2 subordinates. That's why they had to throw him in here. They were trying to get out, attacking the fences. Had to toss them in here to feed them and make them a little more docile. God, raptors. Quite a nasty bunch. Now check this out. Pay attention to what they did. You can see purple on this thing. A little bit of blood if you've got a high definition thing. It is soaked in blood, actually. Malcolm. Who's hungry? I love the tears in that blue thing, though, where you can just see, like, it's so bloody that it's turned the blue fabric purple. It's ridiculously scary. If you look on the wall, future attractions, you will see Jurassic Park Europe, I believe, and maybe Jurassic Park Japan. Let's wait and see. I think it's on one of these slides. Forgive me for not knowing the exact one. They're projecting the attendance all the way up to 1997. Looking for it on one of these slides. If you see it in the background, there's more important things to talk about right now. There's this. Of course, Hammond's like, look, let's talk. What's going on? What's wrong, Malcolm? What's wrong? And it's very true. And he's just not going to listen to any of this. He just doesn't understand, which is ultimately Hammond's issue. Is he's so ambitious and he means well. He's good-hearted, but he doesn't understand the repercussions of what he's doing. Jurassic Park, Tennessee. Is that what that says? No. This is forestation or the building of a dam. Had their shot, and nature selected them for extinction. This is such a great scene. Hammond's just like, what are you talking about, bro? And of course, he's just not having it. Ellie doesn't agree either. She's a paleobotanist, mind you. She sees these poisonous plants all over the place. She's like, look, dude, I don't think you really know what you're doing here. It's a nice place, but yeah. And Hammond's looking, and he's like, oh, shit, that's two no's. We're going to focus on Grant in one shot. He's going to tell us exactly what he thinks. We're going to lean in a little bit on him. Just imagine Spielberg just getting a close-up right now, because this is our plot. There it is, Jurassic Park Europe. There it is. Okay. See, and that is for what most people would say is the greatest scene to talk about Jurassic Park's, basically what Jurassic Park is really about. And it is. The book dives into this a lot more. But this is kind of all you get in the movie. And of course, we've got our kids, which is a big problem for not Hammond, definitely not Ellie, but Grant. Grant, he doesn't want no kids here. Aren't they glorious? Look at all the lily pads and stuff in the lake. It's an interactive CD-ROM. It's also touchscreen, Lex. How incredible is that? Of course, Malcolm is focused on Sattler. You're riding with who? Of course, he's looking up at Hammond. Oh, we've got Tim. What's up, kid? Oh, you read my book? Okay. I don't care. Whatever. All right, we've got a long shot right here. Oh, we're going to get in the car first. Ellie looking at Grant. Now check this out. We're going to leave this car. This is one giant long shot. This kid's got to learn, like he's rehearsed all his lines, obviously. Quite cool. Look at Lex back there waiting. Looks like she's talking to Malcolm. Malcolm's trying to talk to Sattler. And Sattler's just focused on Grant and Tim. We haven't cut away just yet. Get inside of the car, Tim, and shut up. And then, oh, it's Lex. Malcolm's trying to talk to Sattler, but no, it's not happening. She's just focused on Grant. I love stuff like that in this movie. And here we got the important shit. Muldoon's like, oh, damn it, Hammond. Everything's falling apart in this park. There's a storm brewing. And of course, Ray. What's up, man? We're all gonna die. Look at Ray. See, can you imagine how many packs of cigarettes this guy smokes in a day? He's just calculating all these issues. Like he's just immune to all the problems. He doesn't even care about the storm. He's like, man, that's like problem 183. Ham's like, all right, first door. Noticeably concerned. This is what all the money, all the budget and everything has gone into. All the research and development. Oh, man. Those gates, man. Those gates. Welcome to Jurassic Park. That music, everything. My goodness. That's not going to be the only King Kong reference you get in this series. Beautifully shot. Beautifully shot. And lore, they actually repurposed those gates for the gates in Jurassic World. Spared no expense. Dilophosaurus. Of course, they're all excited. Dilophosaurus, oh my God. Grant's holding that brochure, which you can actually buy, by the way, on eBay. Caution. Now, I'm assuming if you're actually in Jurassic Park, you're not allowed to roll down the windows. Like, it won't let you at this point in time. Could you imagine, like, some kid rolling down the windows? Like, look, a dinosaur! And just venom getting splashed on their eyes. Instant, like, lawsuit waiting to happen. But how cool would it be if you were like looking at a Dilophosaurus and it just sprayed your window of your car? Like, oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be a Jurassic Park experience that I'd love to see. Like Ray, he's like, man, Ham, you got to fix these headlights, man. Glitch list. They got a glitch list. We got some problems here, Hammond. What the hell? Muldoon's unimpressed. And of course, he's just blaming it on Dennis. Look at this slob. Look at his workplace. God. He does have an iconic work area, though. I'll say that. The little things around his desk are like so recognizable. God, he's eating a Slim Jim. He's drinking whatever the hell that is. What is that, Tab? 7 something. But I do ask that they pay for them. Thanks, Dad. Dude, do your freaking job. Muldoon's just like, oh, I gotta deal with this shit every day. Approaching the Tyrannosaur paddock. He's so serious. Yeah, we've got a couple of cars out there going to go see the Tyrannosaurus. Hope everything goes all right. Look how beautiful this location is. I mean, I can imagine they've probably got to keep that area the most heavily secure. Maybe the Brachiosaur paddock. But they were open and allowed to socialize with the other herbivores. So, well, I take that back. I mean, they got to keep the raptor paddock super secure. Obviously, they had issues. But the Rex, I mean, has got to be top priority too. My God, like, you don't want it getting out. And they know that. Muldoon's like, okay, we can't have... You know, they're getting up to the T-Rex. You know, cross your fingers, everything goes okay. Man destroys God, man creates dinosaurs. And Ellie, focus on her. Reaction, Malcolm, like, and Grant smiles. Every character in this film, every supporting character and, main protagonist is incredible. And it's just, this is another question though. It's like, do they have like a never ending thing of goats underneath there that they just push out? Like, what is this? Does someone have to lead the goat in there? How come no one asks about that? Because that's like a 40-foot drop later on. I know why it's a 40-foot drop, and I'll probably end up explaining it in another video someday, but it's not explained in the movie. So you could complain about it, just saying. He wants to hunt. Look at Malcolm, so stoically looking. This guy's like, why am I here? Let me just lay down. Oh, Lex, you'll be seeing that goat in no time. Don't you worry. Oh, Hammond checking. I love this part. That's just so funny. I can imagine sitting in a theater and people just laughing their asses off at that. Now, his explanation right here is very important. I know it's played up as both, expository for the themes of Jurassic Park, as well as a cool little scene where he tries to flirt with Ellie. But this is very important, especially for the second movie, The Lost World Jurassic Park. What he explains right here actually happens towards the end, or the beginning of the third act of the second movie. And you actually see it again in Jurassic World, of course. He hears something. What is it? Well, they've got a Jeep out there. What are they doing? All right, now he drops the water right there. It's the butterfly effect. It goes off, some area, right? It turns off somewhere. He's going to drop another drop of water right there. Different area. And of course, he explains in a very sensual way to try and, get in her pants. But what he's saying actually right here happens in The Lost World Jurassic Park. It's all about control. It's all about an intended outcome, a butterfly effect. It's, something that you think will happen and go one way can take an immediate course of action and do the opposite. The Lost World, Nick Van Owen taking the cartridges out of Roland Timbo's gun with the intended purpose of him not shooting the Tyrannosaur. And of course he didn't shoot the Tyrannosaur, but what he didn't intend happening was for Roland to actually load the darts inside of the tranquilizer and tranquilize the T-Rex, undoing all of their work for them to bring the Rex back to San Diego. It's stuff like that Jurassic Park, all of the films have woven into them, into their DNA, if you will, in a really, really good level, really good subtext that is just super intelligent. And I think that it's very important. It's what Jurassic Park's really about. I mean, of course, the stories are just family issues, but it's what the series is trying to talk about. It's not bound to any specific political agenda or any viewpoint or anything like that. It's all based around chaos. It's just this thing, this folly of trying to control. It's what it is. Lex grabbing onto Grant's hand is actually a part of a subplot that wasn't carried over in this movie of Lex crushing on Alan. They cut it for reasons, I guess they just felt like it wasn't necessary, but you can actually see like other parts of it where Lex has a crush on Dr. Grant in this scene coming up. Timmy doesn't listen. We get to see another dinosaur in a really beautiful shot. There's Jerry Harding sporting his mustache, which he does not have in the somewhat canon game, Jurassic Park the game. If you haven't played it, I do highly recommend doing so because it's kind of important to the overarching canon that we've got nowadays. And this special effect, Stan Winston totally outdid himself, and the actors outdid themselves too. They really do sell that this is a real animal that they're looking at. Grant and Ellie in particular, their reaction, Ellie, I guess the most, but you know, Grant with his head against the breathing is incredible. Look at her, she's actually crying. It's so good. It looks so real. And it still looks great. It looks like you could actually reach out and touch that coarse, pebbled skin in this tongue. This was always gross to me, but it was so real. It was like, just as you could like play with your dog, like on the carpet, like, like this is this big dinosaur sitting there. Now, of course, ultimately, the reason this Triceratops is sick is never really explained, but it was supposed to be. And I'll talk about it shortly. Here's Lex looking at Grant. See, this was a part of that subplot that kind of got dropped where she really, really liked Alan. And of course, Sattler's like, guys, look, this creature's really sick. In fact, looks like it might be eating something it shouldn't. They don't reveal this to be the main cause. They just kind of put it out there like this is one of the reasons the dinosaur is sick. But she finds the West Indian lilac, you know, stuff, and obviously that they don't want to be eating that. Ultimately, in the script and actually shot for the movie, Tim was supposed to find smooth stones that Ellie is actually shown holding in a scene coming soon. And it was basically supposed to be like, you know, they're gizzard stones. They ate these to grind up the vegetation in their bellies. You'll see it in a second. Here's the one point, I think I'm pretty sure in the entire series, we actually show Hammond pretty angry. Muldoon and Ray are just like, look, they got to get back in the cars, man. Just everybody get out of here. Me and Muldoon and Hammond, we got this under control. We're going to zoom in on Hammond. Damn! And of course, iconic shot, very famous. That is one big pile of shit. And a very nasty shot right here of Ellie digging through that big old pile of shit. And it gets on her legs. Do you see that? Ugh, that's nasty. Malcolm's having second thoughts. He's like, man, I really want to bang this chick. She's like digging in shit. Like he's like, my God. And she's playing with it in her hands. She's like, is there any West Indian lilac berries in this shit? Let me look. Love this shot of Grant like, oh, stepped in something. Dennis the Menace Nedry's hacking some stuff. Gosh, Gennaro. Malcolm's reactions to everything are so great. Now look at Ellie's hand. She's got one of the rocks that Tim found, one of the gizzard stones that explains that they were eating that mess, which they found. They were eating the rocks near the West Indian lilac berries, which was making them sick. They weren't intentionally trying to eat that stuff. They were just trying to get some rocks. She still has the rock in her hand, and it looks like she sets it down right there. See how smooth it is? All right, and she stays with Jerry Harding. Everyone else goes, and it's getting stormy. And this is actually a video clip. Nedryland, look. Top left. His park system is called Nedryland. That's how he made everything. And look, you can see the little bar progressing like a YouTube video. It's not an actual like live feed. Oh, my video's running up. Great shot of the amber cane. So much for first tour, 2 no-shows and 1 sick Triceratops. Look at Ray. A lot worse. I love him. He's great. Such a great character. He's like, what? What's this fat dude saying? How inconspicuous. Well, Mr. Arnold's just like, man, this guy just shut up. None of us like you, bro. And he's just like, oh, he's sweating. Look at him. Look at him sweat. It's either from him being overweight or just from like, he's really afraid of what he's about to do. Like, oh, I hope I get this. Hope I pull this off. I'll be $1.5 million richer. There's this zebra girl. Click. We are ready to go. All right, back in Jurassic Park. Time to head back. Me? Oh, hell yeah, 3. One of them's Kelly. We don't know who the other 2 are. Same with wives. Malcolm is always on the lookout, aren't you? Always on the lookout for the future ex-Ms. Malcolm. Grant's just like, my God, dude, that sounds like too much work. I love this little espionage thing. Look at him, like he's a spy or something. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. By the way, I do that every time I unplug my internet to like plug it back in. I'm always like 5, 4. Arnold don't like that shit. He's like, we need to take a note of this. The Muldoon's kicking Nedry's shit around. Like, look at this workstation. Arnold's right. How cool is that, though? They've got the embryos on ice, and we see a lot of dinosaurs that we've yet to see in Jurassic Park. Quite a few, actually. Gallimimus, Proceratosaurus, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Velociraptor, Proceratosaurus. I'd love to see in a future movie. What else do we got over here? We've got Stegosaurus metricanthosaurus. By the way, Stegosaurus and Tyrannosaurus are spelled wrong. Nah, he's done. He's got the species. Lock that door. Let's get out of here. Let's do the drop. And of course, he shut the power to everything. What a perfect response. Immediately, he's like, oh, I've stepped too far. Could you imagine, though, if like this dude's coming on to your girl, you're like, hey, yeah, she's with me. Now, we're actually going to get to see the Velociraptor paddock right here. Reserve paddock, raptor paddock, see? Brachiosaur, Dilophosaur, Triceratops, Rex. So that was not the raptor paddock that they're in right now that's been shut down, obviously. That was their original cage, their original paddock. Nedry did not shut down the power to the Velociraptor holding pen that they are currently in. That's not where they're supposed to be. That's just, where they had to put them after they started killing each other and attacking their fences. So, and of course, we all know why Nedry didn't shut down the paddock that the Raptors were currently in. But yeah, it's cool to see that the actual Raptor paddock, he cut the power off to that too. Obviously, there's nothing in there anymore, but good God, look at all this stuff on it's just a bunch of candy and trash. Oh shit, the Raptor's out. Let me ask the computer. Hammond's like, why the hell would he turn the other ones off? Even Nedry knows not to mess with the Raptors. Look at him. He's like, all for like $1 million? He's putting everyone in danger. Like Lex and Tim could be killed. They're kids, man. What's wrong with you? That's not going to buy that many Reese's. Look at him swerve. Just totally destroy this sign. I've never freeze framed it and actually looked and saw like what direction he was supposed to go. But I love this. He's just like, Wheel of Fortune, spin. Where am I going to go? Access main security. Access main program grid. Arnold is so cool. Samuel Jackson is just an incredible actor. Oh, you didn't say the magic word. And he's dressed as like Elvis. His program's called The King. That would piss me off too, man. Call that university. They gave you your diploma, man. Uh-oh. He shut the phones out. Hammond's like, God. Can you imagine? Hammond's probably like, I'm going to kill that fat son of a bitch when he comes back. He's ruined my dinosaur theme park. All this money. Grant's checking up on Gennaro. He's like, all right, everything's looking good. I would love to see both Grant and Malcolm back in a movie working off of each other. I don't know why they never did that in a sequel. Malcolm's obviously startled. For good reason. He knows that the people can't control all this stuff. This is exactly what he didn't want to happen. He's like, they've already lost control. And they're expensive. Put them back. Gosh, what a prick. He's like the uncle from Home Alone. Look what you did, you little jerk. Shut up, Lex. Playing with my Splinter Cell night vision Jurassic goggles. What's going on? They are cool. I'd love to have a pair of those that actually work. Grant's like using all the Jurassic Park stuff inside of the Ford Explorer. He's like, hey, you want some of this rainwater? Yeah. This is scary. This truly builds a lot of suspense. It's creepy. Could you imagine just sitting down? I've often heard bombs going off in the distance. I live pretty close to a military base, or people working construction, and I'll always think like, there's a tyrannosaur coming. The way they made this actually happen, I don't know if everyone knows, but they actually took a guitar string and hooked it up to the bottom of that little glass from underneath the car and plucked it. That's how you get those perfect little ripples in the water. God, that's scary. You just know, like, it's something walking, something really, really big. Goat is gone. The pole is bent. Chain is broke. God, love this. Tim's like, oh shit. Rexy realizes the power's out. Oh man, look how real that looks. The goat is actually getting swallowed by that thing. And he loses it. Which is a real reaction. There are some people out there that just couldn't take that kind of... They do panic. He just totally abandoned. Totally leave the kids. Terrible thing to do. Very selfish, but he's just terrified beyond belief. The power is out, and there's that Tyrannosaurus. Oh. That's not good. What's going on? There's some bending going on. That can't be good. What's causing that? And they're immediately like, oh God, Dr. Grant. That is, this to me, every film that has come out since, I'm talking right now, April 2018 to forever, this is the most realistic special effects shot I think I've ever seen, ever, of the T-Rex just walking out of its paddock. By the way, another continuity error. Look, the door is closed. Ford Explorer's door is not open. And it's still closed. Look, even inside of the car. Of course, Lex pulls out the flashlight. And it's still closed. That door's still closed, guys. This is an error within Jurassic Park. Of course, it lures the Rex over there. And Tim goes to shut the door right here that's open. This is the door that Gennaro left open. Uh-oh. He made a noise. Not good. And I don't want anyone to like. I love Jurassic Park. This is a perfect film. There's nothing truly technically wrong with it. Every film has continuity errors. There are loads in The Empire Strikes Back that you could pick up on. It doesn't necessarily like knock a whole star off or anything. Oh, that roar, that deafening roar. Could you imagine being a kid in there? It'd be terrifying. Yeah, by me bringing that stuff up, I want to emphasize how ridiculous I think some of the criticisms are for Jurassic World and The Lost World. When you've got stuff like that in this movie. Oh, God. Oh, my God, that is scary. And that big sheet of glass wasn't supposed to fall down on them, actually, while they were filming. That just happened. Scary. Malcolm's like, oh my God. And this is Grant's character shift. He's like, he can't believe these kids are in danger. They're going to die. Gennaro completely abandoned him. That's the kind of person he is. He is a coward. Grant and Malcolm are looking on. Malcolm's already a father to Kelly and his other two kids. Grant instinctively, look, he's got all these brochures he's throwing away. A flare, a distraction. Okay. This shot is incredible. They're actually crushing this car. I don't know how they did that, but that's magnificent. Grant comes into his own, does what he has to, lights this flare, gets scared shitless, mind you. That's real. That's a real dinosaur. Malcolm lights the flare. Realizes it's attracted to that movement really well and just throws it. Malcolm's had a bit too much to drink. Oh, goodness. This is not good. He's telling him to throw the flare. He's not going to listen. Now pay attention right here. The T-Rex is going to actually throw Goldblum's body, which you can see right there. If you freeze frame and go watch that, you can actually see Jeff Goldblum's body getting pushed through the bathroom itself. And the Rex has found a really tasty treat for the guy that abandoned the kids. Oh. There are some people that say that scene originally went on longer when they saw it in the theater. You actually got to see Gennaro's bottom half separate from his body. That's why Ellie's like, or Muldoon says, I think this was Gennaro. And Ellie's like, I think this was too. I don't think that that's actually true. Like, I think that's actually a case of the Mandela effect. It's a false memory. I don't really think that it happened, but it's interesting. Can you imagine if they did show Gennaro getting ripped in half by the Rex just flinging his body around? It'd be a totally different... far more gory, I can tell you that. It'd be a very different experience. This shit's already scary. And the Rex is trying to eat little Tim, who's trapped inside of this car. God. And they're going to grab onto these cables. I love the little levity right here where it's kind of levity, but it's also kind of scary when Lex is grabbing onto Grant so hard that she's choking him. It's like, Lex, stop. Let go. Such great suspense. Oh my God. Filmed perfectly too. Here comes the car, and they get away just barely. Oh, what a close call. And little Timmy, for all we know, is dead. She's roaring. God, that's crazy. Look at Muldoon hanging back like, I've got some problems to deal with, no doubt. White rabbit object. We're going down the rabbit hole, Alice. About 2 million. That's not good. He's the head of security. Can you imagine what he's thinking right now? He doesn't like the idea of Jurassic Park. He's just like, I hate raptors, and I got to deal with all this shit. I love how Arnold's trying to like bring John back to reality. Like, man, we got a problem to solve. Hammond's kind of devastated because he wants it to work. My God, if you tried that with a real Jeep, you would fly off the road. This is dangerous. There's the road. And this is a big location in Jurassic Park, the game, which I tend to consider is a part of the timeline to an extent. I don't think that it happened exactly like it happened in the game. A banana peel slip, and he tumbles down, losing his glasses. If you want to watch something really funny, go to YouTube after watching this audio commentary and type in Nedry.mp4 and you will laugh so hard. It's a video by Sick Triceratops. It's like a music video. It's like an LSD trip of Dennis Nedry. Here comes the Dilo. What was that? He's freaked out. The individual dinosaur noises are really cool for all of the Jurassic Park movies too. The hooting of the Dilos it's cute and it's kind of mysterious. He's like poking his head behind the tree. You know, it's just you can tell it walks on two legs. It's probably a meat eater, but it's kind of like a goofy little dinosaur that you would want as maybe even as a pet. And then it pops up right there. Curious of what is this guy doing in my house? What's this guy in my territory for? Looking at him curiously like a bird. I don't know. You look like you got enough food for me. Like he's just condescending to the animals too. Fetch the stick, boy. What are you doing, man? I'm gonna run you over when I come back down. What a mean guy. Dennis is such a villain. And this was really, this shocked, I think, everyone the first time they saw it. Ah! That rattle, that noise. About to be something bad. If he just didn't turn around. Oh! And it's in his eyes, too. It's bad. Bonk. There goes the can. Now pay attention to this. Steven Spielberg said himself that can plopping down is very important. Closes the door. My God, what's going on? Oh, looks like something else got in there with you. Oh, he's dead. He's deader than dead. This shot is designed to specifically set up another Jurassic Park film. And they were actually going to use a script where they actually retrieve the Barbasol can and all of the DNA inside of it for Jurassic Park 4. But they didn't do it. Obviously, we know that the DNA was only good for 36 hours, but they could probably retrieve something out of its remnants that would have been useful. It wouldn't have been a complete embryo, mind you, but just strands of DNA of a dinosaur. And Lex is just totally shocked. Grant's changed by this point. He's like, look, I've got to take care of these kids. And she trusts him. And she's like, oh, I'm getting this pipe. I'm trying to hide from the monsters, which is something else I want to talk about very soon. Grant's opinion in Jurassic Park 3 versus his opinions of the animals in this film. For all they know, they don't know if Tim's alive, if Tim's dead. Tim gets beat up pretty bad in this movie. Climbing the tree. Look how long it's taken him to climb up versus like tree ninjas, Paul and Amanda Kirby, who just like darted up the tree. And this particular Ford Explorer will be making a return in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, in that shot where Blue has been sedated in the trailer. So that's something I'm looking forward to. It'd be really cool. Tim threw up. He's like, okay, just let's go, buddy. He's got to become a father right here, which is pretty important. Bad idea, Grant. Oh, that still gives me like some sort of little thrill. It's not just the dinosaurs that were scary about Jurassic Park. It was even the car falling down the tree. There's no dinosaur anywhere in this, but that's suspenseful. The car, just the fact that the car could kill them, it could crush them. Oh, shit. All right, Tim. Just go. Just go, Tim. Oh, that is incredibly scary. The climbing down from this tree, again, there's no dinosaur here, just the car. Spielberg built suspense in Jurassic Park with just a falling Ford Explorer. Very cool scene. Actually, one of my favorite action moments in this movie. Could you imagine climbing down? Look how close that is. They could be murdered like in a fraction of a second. And look how lucky this is. And the only reason that suspension of disbelief works so well is because you buy into everything. It doesn't work with other movies. It didn't work with the Raptor gymnastics. It didn't work with quite a few things with Jurassic Park 3. So it's Jurassic Park gets away with it, deservedly so, because it's earned it. Not to say Lost World and JP3 didn't, but it didn't really ask too much of you just to believe that, they survived by that little hole that the Rex punched a hole through in the roof of the car. And again, they're looking for survivors. I think this was Gennaro. I think this was too. Oh shit, the Rex. It's out there. We need some flashlights in some new Jurassic Park movies. Those are important. Nick Van Owen had one. Robert and Ellie had two. They're important. Damn it. And he fastened his belt around his wound to stop the bleeding. That's insane. Remind me to thank John for a lovely weekend. But Robert's terrified. He's like, my God. Please move me. There's the brochure. The brochure is in another part of this movie that's really interesting. It actually explains how Grant got back to the visitor center, but it's in a blink and you'll miss it scene. And she found the other car. Can you imagine what's going through their heads? Like, how did this get here? And I love this. Just a little footprint. Feet have left. And then we change to the footprints. He recognizes that sound. Looks down at the Rex's footprint, and here comes the ripple. Boom. Boom. Anybody hear that? Let's say it's an impact, so it is. I'm fairly alarmed here. He's like, all right, guys, let's get the hell out of here. And this, I love this shot too. They get in the car. She looks back. Oh, there it is. Get out of here. Best line ever. Must go faster. Look how quick it is. And Ellie's just shitting her pants. My favorite shot in the entire franchise is that. The objects in mirror are closer than they appear. That's a weird editing choice, by the way, where it just cuts away to them in the same shot, just where they're about to have the windshield knocked down by the log. She's terrifying. What great acting. This is a great movie through and through. Every aspect of it is gold. I love his reactions like, yeah, I just outran that big bitch. Think they'll have that on the tour? Whew, scary. Very scary. Look, Lex. Lex is mortified. She's like, oh my God, it's out there. And Grant's become like, okay, I got to take care of these kids. We're going to climb another tree, Tim. I wonder, I don't know if this was a set. If it is, it probably is. It's really convincing. You know, I don't think personally there's a shot of anything in the original movie that doesn't fully convince me that it exists. Like this right here. It actually looks real. Not to say that the other movies don't. It's just, I totally buy into being in this area. So Jurassic Park really, it deserves every praise, every amount of praise it gets, and it deserves all its Oscars and all its awards from other places. It truly does. Now see Grant's reaction right here. He's trying to call over the herbivores to, just calm the kids down, teach them about dinosaurs. Lex says, don't let the monsters come over here. And Grant says, they're not monsters, Lex. They're just animals. Completely different to what he says in the third movie, where he says they're nothing more but genetically engineered theme park monsters. Grant doesn't think that in this movie. And to me, it's one of my big issues with the third film is it doesn't feel like a natural character development. Here he understands. They're not monsters, they're animals. They just do what they do. The music here is really great, by the way, too. And it's this moment right here leads me to believe that Grant would never dig up another bone again. She even asks him, he's like, what are you going to do? He'll just have to evolve. That moment of levity, he does realize he's in a world with real dinosaurs, and recognizes that he has changed. He's not a man that hates children anymore. That right there is what Jurassic Park is actually about. It's not about dinosaurs. It's not about science. It's not about the thing I talk about with control. Those are major parts of it, but at its core, all Jurassic Park is a tiny family story wrapped around in a horror, thriller, suspense, science fiction, action adventure, sometimes romance comedy movie. And even Chuck's his little raptor claw right here, signifying he's done. No longer a paleontologist, he is now a walker amongst living dinosaurs. Another quick thing, there are stuffed saber-toothed tigers right there. So the idea of Ice Age animals being in a Jurassic Park is actually, you can somewhat make an argument for that. It is kind of possible. I'll talk about that in the future. Just that little existence is interesting. But this right here is Super important. This whole scene sets up Jurassic World, and if I'm right about Fallen Kingdom, it could set up Fallen Kingdom as well. He's sitting here eating all the ice cream that was melting away because the power's been out. Got candles lit. And he's in denial that the park is, destroyed. Very important stuff right here. Even knowing where Lost World and Part 3 go, it does set up Jurassic World. Petticoat Lane. And this is another part that's among my favorite parts of the movie. Such good acting. Look at this. Even trying to convince himself, it's not devoid of merit, is it? She's telling him, look, you can't do it. This sets up Jurassic World. Creation is an act of sheer will. Next time it'll be flawless. Even though she talks his head down from being in the clouds right here, he does not make a complete character transformation. He just feels guilty. Later on, he still thinks the park can work in this movie, even after this scene. Even after the scene where Grant says, I've decided not to endorse your park, and he says, so have I. I'll talk about it when it comes, but there's still this idea where he's just like, it could work. He can't have walked so far to leave no footsteps. It's that whole idea. It's the ambition, the folly of man. Hammond is unfortunately, he's not an evil man, but you can blame him. You can blame him for every death that happens in this franchise. Sadly, it's chaos. It's what it is. Of course, we've got the beautiful Brachiosaurus coming to eat right next to him, and Grant wakes up and he smiles. It's not a monster. Not a monster at all. Of course, Lex is afraid. I love how excited Tim is and how scared Lex is. How cool. Could you imagine being up in that tree feeding this dinosaur? Oh, shit. Wow, look at that. This is kind of a Hook moment in Jurassic Park. With Robin Williams. This is a very childlike moment. She say, I like cows. She's warming up to the animal. And it's raising its head. She's like, oh, I want to pet the dinosaur. Let me go up closer to it. I've always loved this, even as a kid. This part right here. Covered in snot. What a great brother. Knowing it'll piss her off. I'm a hacker. Dinosaur eggs. There's been a lot of debate as to what kind of eggs these are. As a kid, up until very recently, I always thought they were Gallimimus eggs. There were Jurassic Park trading cards back in the day that actually listed them as being Gallimimus eggs. And of course, this is where we learn how they were breeding through the amphibian DNA. Now, the footprints have always been two-toed. So it was always kind of implied they were infant raptors. The problem with that is, at this point in time, the raptors aren't out of their cages. So, and people say, like, it was always intended to be the velociraptors. But it does raise some questions. It's like, have they not told the truth about how many raptors they bred or how many incidences have been happening in the park? So it kind of, the way things are heading now, it does look like they were raptor eggs. Will we ever see the actual answer concrete? Maybe the DPG will type something up someday. They were totally breeding, but we don't know if it was actually, the three from this movie. So maybe one got out earlier and did that. Who knows? Ray's like, I am not cutting down the little bit of power we got left. Now, the lysine contingency would make a very good video that I could talk about. Of course, it ultimately didn't work, and we learned why it didn't work in The Lost World. But also in Jurassic Park the game, it's not really a good failsafe, scientifically speaking. Lysine is an amino enzyme that isn't exactly... It's in everything. So it's easy to supplement, and the dinosaurs did supplement it. So it was a fail-safe that Wu really didn't think through. I should make a video on that. That would be very interesting to talk about with you guys. Muldoon grabs the light. He's like, all right, it's about to get dark. Imagery is great. Love the cinematography. Hold on to your butts. Let's cut the power back on. I love his puzzling, like, and he does get happy right here when he sees that it worked. Samuel Jackson's like, holy shit, we can do it. Okay. Now here's a major problem with Muldoon right here. Malcolm's like, Arnold's so happy. He's like, I'm just going to go down there, cut the power back on. We'll be good to go, guys. Muldoon's like, where are the breakers? Look at his face. It's like, there's raptors down there, Arnold. And he even says later, he's like, you can't just stroll down the road. You can't just stroll down the road. Listen to this dialogue right here. If you can listen to it, turn your audio all the way up. He says, the map looks like it says that the visitor center is only about a mile. He's using the map on the brochure to get back to the visitor center. And that was another piece of the movie that was kind of cut out to where you could actually focus on the map in getting back to the visitor center. But he says it in the movie, so yeah. Are those Metosauruses? Asks Lex. And I love how they just all turn towards their direction. He's so enamored by, like, the actual sight. He doesn't realize that they are flocking this way. Time to run. We don't want to be trampled to death. God, look how scary. And again, and I don't mean to rag on JP3. We'll talk about it later when we get to it. But it's one of those things, like, they ran from the galleys in this movie. They were afraid of getting trampled. They run into a herd of dinosaurs in Jurassic Park 3. I get it, to subvert the velociraptors, but still, it the level of danger was questionable, I believe. Here we have a beautiful shot of the Rex jumping out. Got him. This galley looks up and is just murdered. As a kid, I thought that little black marking on the Gallimimus's leg was actually the Jurassic Park mark that was on all the toys. From all the commercials, you know, look for the mark of Jurassic Park. I thought they actually like branded their dinosaurs in the movie series. It's kind of stupid, but as a kid, you know. All right, Tim, we got to go. Of course, Ellie's like, look, Arnold is not back. It's been like 11 minutes. He's dead. Muldoon's like twirling his head. He's like, shit, if Arnold's gone, it's just me and this crazy old man and the annoying Jeff Goldblum character. Look, Hammond's like, nothing worked in Disneyland. We can still fix everything, guys. He still thinks Jurassic Park's going to be okay. He's like, this is normal. It's just a normal delay. So he's not a changed man. Muldoon's like, all right, breaking out the Spaz 12. Malcolm's like, shit. There you go. Grab this shotgun. He should have given another one to Ellie, by the way. Well, maybe not. She might not know how to handle a weapon. That's not like a comment on her sex or anything, because Grant doesn't know how to handle a shotgun, as we'll see later on in the movie. And by the way, I love this little line right here. She's worried. She's like, all right, I'm going to go do it. He's looking over. Okay, walkie-talkie. Got it. And he wants to go out there. She's like, why? And you're... Look, I love that. Muldoon's like, all right, I've been working me quads out for quite a while to kick the shit out of a raptor. Let's see if we can find us one. I love this shot. Ellie's like looking behind them. Oh, where are they? They broke out. That is a scary reveal. The raptors are out of their paddock. Same footprints as the eggs. Oh, God, I love Muldoon. And Ellie's like, oh, my God, I saw them tear that cow to pieces. I was like, that bird. I'll shoot the shit out of that bird if he scares me. The storm has, like, knocked over trees and stuff. I love this part. No. We can't. Why? Because we are being hunted. She's like, oh, God. It's all right. God. What a scary situation. And I mean, Muldoon's totally in Captain Quint mode. And she doesn't know if they're coming like right behind her. Muldoon kind of sacrifices himself to let her go cut on the power. It's pretty honorable. How scary and claustrophobic. She's just like, Ray, are you down here, buddy? I love how he just folded the map out. He folded the blueprints like directly on Malcolm's wound. I understand how to read a schematic. Wow, beautiful scenery. Now here is a very important scene. This sets up the end of the movie. This is another butterfly effect. Pay close attention. Of course, this is one of the greatest jokes in any of the Jurassic Park films. I love the humor in this. This is so funny. Check this out. Look at Tim shield his eyes. I hope I can do that to my kids someday. That was great. Now he screams. And his little joke. And the Rex answers. And they're afraid. And they should be. So they get their asses on this fence and start climbing. The Rex answered because it's hunting them. It hears them. It's responded going like, I hear you. It's in pursuit. Of course, Malcolm takes over right here. So keep in mind, the Rex is hunting Lex, Alan, and Tim. Keep in mind for what happens at the end of the movie during that whole part. And what happens right now, by the way. By the way, another continuity error. Check out the bottom of Grant's boots. There's like no dirt, no mud on them whatsoever. In fact, it looks like he just bought them like straight from Target. All right, she found the box. If you think those are nitpicks, just imagine what I think about all the bullshit they say about the Lost World. It's the same type of stuff, man. All right, going over. Poor Tim. Tim has been through a rough weekend. It's been a bad few hours. Malcolm's like, God, I need some more morphine. Flat and gray. She is truly heroic. I can understand why, for most people, Ellie is like the female protagonist that they all look towards in this entire series. In my opinion, and Ellie is great. I love Sarah Harding. Amanda Kirby has some cool things about her. To me, I don't care what people say. Like I think it's Claire. I think it's Claire Dearing. I know we've only seen one movie so far, but I just think it's Claire. Of course, poor Tim trying to climb over this fence, the power coming back on. This is truly suspenseful right here. It didn't build suspense for me as a kid, but as an adult, it does terrify me. Even though I know what happens. T-Rex paddock, perimeter fence, like he's going to get shocked with 10,000 volts. And it almost kills him. Truly scary. Like, imagine if that was your son. Guess what Grant is right now? He's basically a surrogate father. He's just been electrocuted off of this thing. And he's not breathing. He's probably going to die. But the power's on. And this scared the shit out of my mom when I showed this to her the other day. That's the greatest jump scare of like any movie ever. No one anticipated that. Oh, you ain't going anywhere, Raptor. Oh, this movie can be a true horror film sometimes. What happened to Arnold? Like his arm was like stuck in a rafter. Could you just imagine what that Velociraptor did to Arnold? Which, by the way, in the script, this raptor is listed as the big one. So she puts this raptor inside of there. It's still inside of the maintenance shed. While the two raptors that Muldoon is hunting are right here. Now remember, the Rex responded to Alan's scream. All right, just keep all that stuff in mind towards the end of this film. Muldoon, of course, being as awesome as always, sees the raptor's tail, puts his hat down. All right, and he's laser focused in on this raptor. He's about to blow its head off. Just gotta, as quietly as possible, unfold the stock of his gun. Just click. Oh, he's like, oh, I don't want to make a noise. But this raptor doesn't care. It's staring right at him. It's staring right back at him. And here she comes. Clever girl. Oh, just like Grant said. And that thing is destroying him. Now, Muldoon lives in the comic books, which are only canon to themselves, but for all intents and purposes, he's dead, guys. Look at Lex just crying. Really good acting for the kids, too. The kids are great actors in this movie. She thinks her brother's dead. And I love this little joke, too. Three. All right. We are in the third act, home stretch. By the way, you Patreon people that are watching this audio commentary, you're going to get another one for the same movie, probably in June. I think that's when I'll end up doing that. This one, this particular one, you guys will only get. This is specifically for you guys. As a thank you. I mean, I know you're getting two of the same thing, but it could be fun. We'll be doing other audio commentaries for all kinds of other stuff, but I wanted to really make this one special. I've had a lot of issues with copyright when doing these audio commentaries. That's why you haven't been getting that many of them. I'm trying to get as many out to you as I possibly can, guys. I swear. It's just that Zephyr company that Chris Stuckman actually talked to YouTube about is pretty terrible. They will claim anything. Amongst Disney and others. But yeah, you guys are going to get a lot of this stuff. Ellie curiously has her shirt missing. You could say that's a continuity error. I'm not going to. Where's her pink shirt? It's just gone. Another thing you can add to the list of odd occurrences in Jurassic Park. And of course, they're like so happy right now. They just get to eat. You know how starving they must be? Kids out in the park. And of course, iconic shot of Lex with the jello. Her eyes. And the shadow of the velociraptor silhouetted on the actual painting. Remember, we've just seen what the raptors look like in those two attack sequences. We haven't seen their full bodies yet, but we've gotten to see quite a bit of them. And the kitchen right here is going to lead into, I think, what a lot of people will say, bar none, one of the scariest moments in any movie they've ever seen. It's great. By the way, I don't know if you guys give a shit, but my iPhone, like, the case is actually of that raptor snout, like, snorting. Like, that's what the case is, of the little kitchen hole. I love that shot. Grant loads up. Ready to go protect the kids. Oh, they can, Ellie. Oh, they can. This is scary. It's also one of the reasons I'm so excited for Fallen Kingdom with the Indoraptor. Stuff like this really freaks me out. It's the raptors learning to do human things. I think that's true Jurassic suspense. That's true Jurassic terror. I love how it just darts right in their direction after they start talking. They're like, what was that? And he's looking around. I'm going to need backup. A lot of people have suggested that raptor on the left is the big one. In the script, it's not, but again, the script was revised several times. There's not really a real answer unless Spielberg comes out someday and says, which one it was. I like to think that it's the one on the left, and I also like to think it's the one that killed Muldoon, which would have been one of these two raptors, as well as the one that fought Rexy at the end. But again, that's just me. I have no proof for that. Nobody really does. Again, tapping with the foot. It's something we'll see in Fallen Kingdom. In the same shot, by the way, that we've got in the trailer. In the same scene, sorry, not the same shot. Which is interesting. Oh, run. I think Jurassic Park was able to be so scary in moments like this by having terrifying things happen to the kids earlier. Because they do get beat up pretty badly. So you know that they're not going to get out of this unscathed. And of course, Lex is like, Timmy, get over here. No. Tim, you better move your ass. That's creepy. They were right there. They were going to kill him. And she, for all intents and purposes, saved her brother right here. I love this coming up. So convincing. The raptor's like, I've got you. Which is scary. I mean, she'd be dead. If she was actually right there where the reflection is, she would, there's no way she'd make it. The freezer's open. All right, he darts. And here comes the raptor. Very convincing special effects, by the way, practical-wise. It actually looks like it's really there. I love that moment where it looks back after, like, knocking into something. And this CGI shot's incredible, too. And here comes Lex. Shut you away. And locked him in. I want to know how many of you guys actually think the raptor did freeze to death, or if it got out. I'm pretty sure it's dead, but that's just me. And I love that little squints like, oh, you. I'm after you now. Grant is very bad with a shotgun. I'll point it out in a little while. Ellie goes over to reboot the system. I love this too. Another incredible shot. And it's right there. It's thinking. It's like working it out. Like, I can just open this door. Oh, he drops the gun. That's not the problem I was talking about, by the way. I'll tell you in a little while. And I know a lot of people have criticized this moment to where Timmy could have handed Grant the shotgun, I guess, but like it'd be kind of hard to aim at it through the door, especially while he's trying to push it. People say that maybe Ellie could get off of the hinge area of the door because she's not offering too much help. But I don't really know. That to me is a nitpick. Actually, that's beyond a nitpick. You shouldn't be critiquing film if you're pointing out stuff like that. I could just as easily write, Timmy gives Grant the gun. Grant tries to shoot Raptor. Raptor goes in and kills everyone. By the way, look how accurate this is to an actual program system for like rebooting a system. Visitor center. Secured! Yay! All right. You could see it say Nedryland right there, by the way. Of course, the music's coming in. I actually, personally, I don't like the gymnastics bit from The Lost World, but I actually respect the fact that it's set up a little bit better than Lex being a computer hacker in Jurassic Park. Like, it's just a throwaway line in this movie. But in The Lost World, it's actually a point of character. just putting that out there. Now, watch Grant. He shoots. He screams, Grant, look at the gun on the floor. It's got a perfectly good shotgun shell stuck in it. The gun jammed. So Grant abandoned the Spaz 12 because he didn't know what to do with it. Little things like that I feel actually are really cool because realistically speaking, unless Grant had a, life totally different to his paleontological one, would a paleontologist really know anything about firearms? I think that is a continuity praise, if you will. And this amazing shot right here. Grant goes in to kick this raptor in the face, just like he does the Pteranodon in JP3. This girl isn't Lex, actually. It's a stunt woman that they CGI'd Lex's face onto. Because obviously they're not going to dangle a real kid, you know, inside of a ventilation system where she could fall and hurt herself. It's just a short stunt woman, so kind of another cool point of Jurassic Park's evolving technology that was in use. And here we've got another great shot of the practical effect Velociraptor who's jumped down and met them out there. God, look at that. That is scary real, man. And this is just incredible. Jump and everything is separated. Lex and Ellie are by themselves. Grant the raptor and Tim are on the rib, the midsection of the sauropod. He makes sure Timmy gets down. Oh, here comes Lex. And then here comes Ellie. And I love Ellie looking up before all that stuff just falls on top of her. And then Tim just barely surviving everything crashing down around him. And here comes the raptor that Ellie left in the shed. Remember, the Rex responded to Alan's screaming. It's been following them, trying to get at them. Butterfly flaps its wings in Central Park. You get rain instead of sunshine in Peking. Actually, that was backwards, but the Rex was hunting Grant. And it looks like after finding that raptor outside that made its way to the visitor center, it's found a new target. I don't think a lot of people have made that connection, but came in through the unfinished wall. Doesn't necessarily save them. It's all chaos. It's all ripples in the water. And this raptor attacks. Perfect moment to just run away. So yeah, that's why it's there. After careful consideration, I've decided not to endorse your park. So have I. Pay attention to Hammond after this. And of course, one of the most iconic shots in the entire franchise. I love it. The real Rex slams the dead raptor into the skeleton of the dead Rex. Roars. When dinosaurs ruled the earth, which we will finally get to see in Fallen Kingdom and beyond. Now that same shot of the Jurassic Park logo was all happy when they got to the island. Now it's all bent up and dirty now that they're leaving. Now they know that it was all never going to work. But now watch Hammond. He hears his Brachiosaurus crying. He can't leave them. He doesn't want to leave them. And look, Grant's got to be like, look, man, it's time to go. And he knows. It scared him. He's like, I got to go, but I don't want to. And he's still thinking on this thing. He's still thinking. Creation's an act of sheer will. It's that just little bit of him. His dying wish, make it work. It's there, man. He doesn't completely change. But Grant does completely change. And it's this moment right here that I like. He's the one person that undergoes the most serious character development. And Ellie's looking at him like, look, it looks like you got some kids around you. I love that moment. He's like, yeah, looks like I do. And they're just exhausted. And this moment right here, and her looking at the bird and him looking at the bird it's personally my biggest problem for the third movie. Because he looks out, he's like, they're not monsters. That's what they are. They're dinosaurs. And he looks at them and he turns his head and he rests it like, my God, he's already thrown that fossil. He's done digging up bones. He can be a father now. He can have kids with Ellie. And for all intents and purposes, it's just dinosaurs out there. They're not monsters. And he's still in love with them, just like he was earlier in the movie with the Triceratops, Brachiosaurs, all that stuff. Perfect ending to a perfect movie. It's incredible. It really is. I think this is one of the best movies ever made. Now, again, I brought up a huge number of amount of issues that you could gripe with this movie, but none of them are serious. And a lot of those same issues translate into issues that people have serious problems with The Lost World and Jurassic World with, which I'll be going over when I do audio commentaries for that. But, I mean, we're well into the credits here. It says Jeff Goldblum. I mean, that was my audio commentary of the original Jurassic Park, guys. I hope you've had fun. You're going to get another one of these of the same movie and of all the other movies. So you'll be getting like 8 Jurassic Park commentaries eventually, amongst other movies like King Kong, Godzilla, whatever you want, let me know, please. That was Jurassic Park, guys. Hope you all had fun. This has been a pretty cool experience. I've never done this to this particular movie, so yeah. Hope you all enjoyed this. Take it easy, guys.